Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another PGR reaction. Today we have Upstream as requested by Flamebolts in the comments of the last video. This is a Polyblue song. It's been a long time since I've gotten anything by Polyblue recommended at all, so I figured it'd be fun to get to this one, and it was the one that had like pseudo the most likes on it. There was a few other comments that had like the equal amount. You just have to pick one at that point, so that's what I did, and without further ado, let's go! Oh, that's... Is this gonna be goofy? It feels like it's gonna be goofy. Ooh, okay. Got polyrhythms in here. I still haven't ruled out the potential of goofiness. I also just realized Polyblue, polyrhythms. That's gotta be intentional. Ooh. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe not goofy. Maybe banger. It's very Polyphia coded. Another poly-based name. I'm kind of vibing with it. Obviously, there's a lot of changes happening. That kind of makes it more interesting. Woo! Love that clean tone on the guitars. What? So it is, it's gotta be a little bit, it's gotta be a little bit goofy. I feel like there's a tongue-in-cheek energy to this. Like, I don't know what all the lyrics are, obviously. But between that sound starting it and like not introducing lyrics and it was just rap somewhere near the end, this has to be something that wasn't supposed to be taken fully seriously. So this song is chaos in a really fun way. I mean, that happens a lot. I tend to love songs that just add a bunch of stuff and throw it at the wall, and it's still structured. It's not like there's complete nonsense in this song. It just feels that way because that's what polyrhythms are. It's what they do. It's their point, to be able to kind of butt up against each other and make things more complex, make them truly kind of like a work of art that is also the, like, it's like the Jackson Pollock of music. You know, it's just like the splatters all over the place. Let's throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, and whatever comes out is the beauty that the song ends up being. Again, when it's done well, you can definitely do things wrong if you overstep your boundaries, and there are limitations to stay within. You still have those bounds to work within. So it's not like you can throw any random shit at a wall and expect it to stick. You have to know roughly where you're going, have an idea at very least, but within that bound, you can do whatever you want with the rhythms. You can change things up. Like there was a lot of triplets and sixes in here, just plenty of that. And triplets and sixes, basically just sixes are two triplets put together. You could also do things in fifths like that, like da 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 da. You know, it's just whatever you need to do. That gets into the depth of what polyrhythms are. And like I said, it's mostly just subdividing existing beats. So the average count being 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and just so on and so forth with that. You can find little things within that. You can do 1E and 2E and every single time you hit the 1, 2, those are just more notes between. It's a 4th, 8th, or a 16th. And then there's also the things you can do in there based on like where you place rests, quarter rests, half rests, doesn't matter. You can do an 8th rest and make something come off really weird compared to the rest of the rhythm of the song. And that's kind of what polyrhythms end up doing. They stack a bunch of those together to be able to create this beautiful thing that's also completely chaotic. And the sound design of this song is also very chaotic. Like, everything is moving. And it feels like everything's moving around your head when you're listening in headphones at very least. Like, if you haven't heard this in headphones, listen to it with headphones on. It's one of those songs that I feel like if you were to hear this just on computer speakers or your phone, you would not get the full scope of the sound design for this song, because like the hi-hat alone is moving from this ear to this ear, and then it immediately like wraps behind the head and keeps going. It's like it's orbiting around you the whole time. Not precisely, it mostly just kind of starts here, ends here, and then starts again on this side, but the general scale of where it is in front of the face is felt when your entire head is encompassed by this sound. So again, if you haven't heard this in headphones, do so at some point, because this is really cool just for that purpose alone. There's a bunch of other layers doing other things too, but that hi-hat is definitely like the most notable one for me, because you can really feel it constantly moving around. But to get more into the literal music theory of this one, this song doesn't actually do too much moving around as far as the chords go and like where the song moves melodically. It stays pretty static. There's not too much happening here because a lot of it is more just single note stuff. So while you're like, oh, there's a lot of movement, what are you talking about? It's more that stays on its own hand, and the rhythm stuff, like the chords that I tend to talk about when I do music theory stuff, the like root of what the song is, that doesn't really move anywhere. It's mostly just the weird polyrhythm adjustments that you're hearing with the other instruments. They're kind of just going up and down the scale with this one while they're doing those solos. So nothing really that I can truly dig into when it comes to that, but I believe what they're doing here is like an F minor with like an F major, like kind of bouncing between these two. There's got to be a D flat in there. There's a C, and there's also a B flat minor, and I think there is even a G flat at one point, which is a weird one to include. It fits. It's not like it doesn't, but it just feels kind of strange in there, so I'm not entirely positive if that is included, especially since we already have like the F in there. So it's like, what's going on? It's like we got the F and the F minor, like, and then you're gonna throw this in there. That's a lot of like very condensed notes, but I can't really be sure about that either, because this is so close to these two that it might just be a part of the solos that are happening, those movements that are going through, kind of just chromatic lifts and going up and down constantly, just little mini scales for the solo's sake. And the problem with this is that like if you have all of those notes involved, you have all of these. So you have literally, that's so many. That's so many notes. So I'm not entirely sure for that reason if that is what's happening or if I'm just hearing those other notes, because there is the rule of you have a key and you have the chords you can play within it, but then there is also a slightly separate scale that you can play that's basically designed for the melody. It's the melodic scale versus the harmonic scale that are both within the scale and key of what you're playing, but one is meant to be for harmonies and one is meant to be for the melody. So it is usually when you're hearing music, you think of the melodic scale as like the one everyone knows for that scale. But then there is the harmonic one that changes a note or two depending on what key you're using, and it just adds like one extra note, two extra notes that are different from the rest that would butt up against the rest of that known key. It's just a factor of keeping the song together and allowing for a little bit more flexibility. That's where things like guitar solos start to really like shed a little bit, because they love to have those like free little chromatic climbs up and down in a song. So it opens a world of tone that you could not really reach without those in there. And well, like I said, they do kind of butt up against each other, but when you're hearing it in the grand scheme of things, they don't tend to really be in the way there. So it's very possible that this relationship is just because I'm hearing that, and I'm not very familiar with the F minor, which I'm pretty sure is the key for this song. So that's probably it, right? But just kind of back on the main chords here, I actually really love this like B flat minor, C, D flat, F minor sort of relationship for some reason. It's not even that it like really works all that well together, but it just kind of, it sounds cool. It like leaves you hanging a little bit. And like this song kind of does, it's constantly moving you around, but doesn't feel like it ever settles down. So I think that that probably has something to do with this character. Obviously, I don't know this character, never seen her before in my life, never played her when I played PGR, so I don't know what her deal is. But maybe she's just kind of like a Spitfire personality, the character that never settles down. That wouldn't really be shocking. Maybe a little bit counterculture-y due to the name and everything going on in this song kind of butting up against itself. That's probably part of her identity. That tends to be a pretty common through thread for any character song ever. But then like the rapping came out of nowhere. And I love that that was in there because it showed up randomly. Like, we're hearing this whole song, and then they're just like, we need a verse, spit some shit. And then they do, and it sounds sick, but then it just kind of goes away. I didn't look up what the lyrics were. I don't know if they are public or anything in English, but I don't think it really matters what they're saying at that point either, because like just having that voice present makes the entire song feel like it's a hype beast sort of song. It's like a hype man going like, you see this bitch? She crazy. So it makes the entire song feel so much more fun. And like I said at the beginning, kind of a little goofy in the best way possible. But I feel like there's still some serious energy behind this one due to the complexity of everything. You don't make a song that's just wild for the sake of it unless you're trying to get the point across that this character is still crazy, maybe a little bit like unhinged. I don't get that from her, so I'm just feeling she's got energy more than anything else, and it's just like, again, the character you can't stop, an unstoppable force of nature, so to speak. So it would totally work with that, but there also is that like goofy edge to it. While the rest of the song sounds serious and it is complex, there's just something so inherently lackadaisical about this song, so I'm not entirely positive what the vibe is here. I think I've said all I can say about it though. I think my guesses are the best that they'll get, so there you go with this song. I yapped quite a bit about this one, so you'll probably be able to figure out what I mean through most of that, but I guess that's about all I gotta say on this one. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from PGR, by all means drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!